What better way to end 2023 at M&T Bank Stadium than to have the Baltimore Ravens wrap up not only the AFC North, but clinch the number one seed throughout the AFC playoffs? That's right, for the second time in 4 years, the road to the Super Bowl will go through Baltimore and M&T Bank Stadium. And for the second time in 4 years, the Baltimore Ravens have an MVP quarterback. Ravens clinch number one seed, first round bye, dismantle and demolish the Miami Dolphins, turn them back to Tuna's 56-19. It's the official Baltimore Ravens postgame show here on the Flex Zone Podcast, ending your 2023 and starting your 2024, giving you sports talk and more. Make sure you guys hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that bell. We're going to talk all about it. I see everybody in the chat. Happy New Year. Hit the like button. Join us. Baltimore Ravens postgame show, 56-19. Hammer was dancing. You'll be dancing tonight as the ball drops. Ravens, number one seed. Postgame show coming to you next. Happy New Year's Eve. Let us be the first to wish you a happy new year here on the Flex Zone Podcast. Only place giving you sports, fellas. How you want it?
When you need it.
You need us.
And what you need right now is none other than that wonderful news, that wonderful happenings down at M&T Bank Stadium today with the beautiful weather. You've seen the Baltimore Ravens turn the Miami Dolphins back to tuna, as D would say. 56-19. Lamar Jackson, 5 touchdowns. The Ravens dominate from start to finish, play a complete game, and put the world on notice yet again, the NFL world that is, that they are the best team on the field, not only with their play, but with their record, clinching the number one seed. I got the crew back with me. The three-man weave. Dio Damas, you are here. Welcome back, my brother. Happy New Year. How you feeling? What's been going on with you?
Hey, it feels good to be back, first of all. I've been traveling to DMV doing this high school basketball. If you look at our YouTube channel on Dynasty Network, we've been popping in December. It's been hot. January going to be hot. And we're going to get to these Ravens getting it done, beating some of the best teams in football in the last month. And they topped it off, returning them tuners from South Beach and the puppy child. They definitely did that today. But check us out, Dynasty Network, on all platforms. And Dynasty Net on the Twitter.
Next man is the social media producer. He is the gentleman who was with me last night as we watched The Devil Be Revealed and AEW World's End. It is the Meat Man. He was at the game today, saw a lot of interesting things I'm sure he's going to tell us all about. It is the official guy who makes the streams press team, my boy. I know he's celebrating his New Year's Eve the right way. Big Raj, what's going on, my brother? How are you feeling today? He can't stop smiling, man.
Finish him, Daddy.
Bro, I'm feeling great, man. This has been a great year for if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan. Just an amazing day, man. Just an amazing day. I did not expect them to destroy the Miami Dolphins like they did today, but it's been awesome, man. So I can't wait to get into it and tell you some of my experiences because I was there at the game.
Yeah, let's not waste any time, Miss Queen. I see you in the chat. Appreciate you. Yes, Big Reg, you did say it was going to be a blowout. Shout out to you, living with Big Reg. Snowman, what's going on? Happy New Year, happy holidays to you guys. Raj, I'm going to start with you, brother. You were at the game. Ravens win 56-19. We'll get into all the numbers and all the kicks and giggles and gaudy numbers, as they say, that the Ravens didn't have. Now they have them. How are you feeling, my boy, as we get into this post-game show?
All right, so like I said, I was at the game, and it was amazing. I am, feeling extremely great and gracious. There was a lot of Miami Dolphins fans there. They packed the house a little bit as well. And I was sitting next to one, very, very loud and goofy. And as soon as the Dolphins scored that first touchdown, I was like, here we go. But the Ravens had to get a little bit kinked out. A lot of people weren't playing today, like Stevens. I think Marlon Humphrey got hurt, and of course Kyle Hamilton didn't play at all. So it took him a little while because Arcane had that great speed. Tyreek Hill got some great speed as well, and Tua was doing his thing early. But as soon as as soon as the Ravens got into a groove, Lamar Jackson, man, my goodness, he had a hell of a day today. I mean, the way he was throwing the football was just amazing, and it's really good to see, from week one to week 17, how much improvement that this offense has made, under Todd Monken. And I just thought he had a hell of a day. Bateman, although he dropped the pass, he caught a couple passes up the middle. Zay Flowers had a great day, a great catch. Likely had two great touchdown passes. And Justice Hill, man, Justice Hill showed me a lot today. He played his ass off, man. So this Ravens offense looks great. The defense slowed down the Miami Dolphins in the second and third quarter, and they just played well, man. They played extremely well, and I'm just proud. I'm proud of the Ravens, man. I really am.
D, let's go to you. Your thoughts on the game and how you feeling as they clinch the number one seed. They are playing up to their potential. You've seen it the past few weeks. They pretty much beat every team that is a playoff contender that has come on their schedule. The only loss has been to the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, I mean, their three losses has been the three teams that's in the postseason race or in the playoffs. They've been dominant, man, the last 6 weeks, and they was able to take care of business today against the Miami Dolphins. The Dolphins showed once again when they play a real opponent, they fold. I know they had some injuries, but it wasn't a matter today. They got manhandled after the first quarter, and just the way it was. The Ravens defense once again played well, played magnificent. Every man has stepped up when they've had secondary, injuries and issues. Lamar Jackson probably played his best complete game not only this season, maybe his career. 5 touchdowns, very patient in the pocket. The offensive line has played great the last 7 quarters. They have not let Lamar get touched that much. They've been able to limit the pass rush. It's been excellent, man. And the Ravens are peaking at the right time. We're hoping they can win 3 more games to get to Vegas. It starts Sunday, beat Pittsburgh. I know, granted, they got everything clinched up, but we don't want the Steelers to backdoor their way in, play a half. Guys that don't need to play, don't play Sunday. And we can just keep the ball rolling. Then we'll see in the wild card round we're going to have in the divisional round. But the Ravens are looking good. Raven Mania, baby. It's running wild. Running wild.
Woo! As they would say. Make sure you guys welcome everybody. Happy New Year. Hit the like button. Please hit the thumbs up. We're ending 2023 talking to you. We're live here. Content will be coming out to you tonight into the new year on the Flex Zone as we have our Goofies of the Year coming to you. The Ravens won their 6th game in a row, and they have rushed for 100 yards for a 32nd consecutive game and have had a sack for 37 straight games. Lamar Jackson reached 800 yards rushing, becoming the first quarterback in NFL history to do that 3 times. And this was the second highest scoring total in franchise history for the Ravens, behind only their 59-10 win against Miami, which was in Miami, in 2019. And Tyreek Hill for the Dolphins surpassed 10,000 yards receiving for his career. Real quick, I want to go to the injuries, Raj, because we actually brought that up. And D, I'll start with you. No Kyle Hamilton, no Brandon Stevens. Marlon Humphrey left. Michael Pierce left. I think Daryl Worley left. D, you locked everything up. You get next week and the bye week to get right. How you feeling about this team heading into the postseason, really with a chance to be as healthy as they've been in a couple of years?
Yeah, that's a big thing. The secondary is really banged up, with the corners and everything. Hamilton didn't play today, and if he still got the same issue, you can hold him out next week. Hold out a couple of corners next week. Anybody that has injuries that they need to heal, let them heal for the next 2 weeks. If you can get out there, though, against the cockroach known as the Steelers, if you're healthy enough, for a half, we're going to get out there. We're going to try to make sure the Steelers don't back their way in the playoffs. But if you're like Hamilton, Humphreys, guys like that need to sit out, you should sit out next week.
Go ahead, Raj. Your thoughts on the injuries, and even saw Andrews out there today.
Yeah, we got to see Andrews. He was on the sidelines. I think he'll probably be back for the playoffs. I think everything is setting up for him to come back, and I can't wait to see him in the playoffs. But to Dee's point, I will say they should play who's healthy next week, at least for a half. But yeah, I do agree. You got to sit a lot of those guys that are hurt. You got to sit them down next week. I mean, we can't afford to have Kyle Hamilton getting hurt or Marlon Humphrey, get hurt worse than what he already is, and Darryl Worley and all those other guys that got hurt today. They can't. We got to get those guys some rest, man. So if they can play just like a little bit next week and win, then that's fine. But all that matters is that we have all of our pieces going into this divisional game. We have to be focused and ready that date. I'll be honest with you. I don't give a damn if we win next week or not. That they gotta get it done in the playoffs. And here come this guy. Look, he don't do. Look. You gonna leave Bateman alone? All right, Brian. You gonna leave Bateman alone? God damn it. He actually played well today, and that first drop was not all the way his fault. Jamal kind of overthrew him a little bit. So don't give me that crap. I see what you're saying in the chat. I see what you're saying. Don't you start your nonsense.
Yes, Brian. That's why we call them the cockroaches because they don't die no matter what you do, no matter what happens to them. They find a way to survive, and it looks like they're on their way to winning yet again. Justin, I agree. Shout out to you, Brian. I know Bateman had 54 yards today, so I'll take that every day. I'll take it. But let's get to the offense. Lamar Jackson pretty much locking up his second MVP in 4 years today. 18 of 21, 321 yards, 15 yards in attempt, 5 touchdowns. Was only sacked one time. Perfect quarterback rating, 158.3. Tyler Huntley even had a 19-yard touchdown to Charlie Kohler. So 6 touchdowns for the offense. Let's start there with Lamar. Raj, I know people say, oh, he doesn't have the gaudy numbers. He says, hold my beer. The last 2 weeks, he's put on a clinic against two of the best teams in the league. This brother has, and I even said this in the chat, he has become a consistent pocket passer. He looks like the true leader that this team envisioned when they gave him all of that money, that contract. It has already essentially paid for itself just off of the season. He's the guy, he's the leader. Already 20-1 against the NFC, wins 75% of his games, going to get a second MVP, and showing he can do it from the pocket today. And oh, yeah, let's not forget, did also have 35 yards rushing to go over 800 for the season.
Bro, I am so happy for Lamar Jackson. I really am. This entire season, even back in the off season, we had teams saying that they didn't want him, that he wasn't worth the money. They passed up on him. They was being extremely, extremely goofy. And then on top of that, you got, the national media with guys like Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharp, you know what I'm saying? And some Caucasian Becky, saying that she wants her quarterbacks to be quarterbacky or whatever the hell that nonsense was. And then you had that fool Richard Sherman on FX1 or FS1 or whatever the hell it is, talking his nonsense about Josh Allen being the MVP candidate. I don't want to hear none of that nonsense, man. Today, Lamar Jackson solidified the MVP. I mean, he literally went out there and had a hell of a game. I mean, probably his best game to date as a Baltimore Raven. But not only that, it's like you said, it's not always about the gaudy numbers. He is actually being, the quarterback that I always dreamed that he could be. Looking down the field, making throws, and you know what I'm saying, just making sure that he doesn't turn the ball over at his lessen the turnovers as far as the quarterback is concerned as well, and he's still giving us dynamic runs every game. So this brother has definitely improved over the off season. I think he's finally learned the Todd Monken way and how to run his offense, and he just looked beautiful doing it, man. I mean, a lot of people were saying, "Oh, why is the Miami Dolphins cornerbacks not on the receivers?" You're gonna have to ask what's that dude name? The defensive coordinator for the Dolphins. Is it Fangio? Is it Big
Vic
Fangio?
Fangio. Vic Fangio.
Yeah,
Vic
Big,
Fangio.
big,
Vic
yeah,
Fangio.
yeah,
Vic Fangio.
yeah. Yeah. Whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, Fangio. But yeah, got to ask that fool, man, because I mean he got his ass whooped before by the Ravens. He already knows what's going to happen. So it's not my fault Jalen Ramsey didn't know what the deal was today, and the rest of those guys, Xavier Howard and everybody else. But it is what it is, man. Lamar Jackson has gotten better as a passer, clearly, and he just knows what to do more than he did in years past. And now that he has the weapons to do it, he's made it look easy, like extremely easy. So the Ravens are definitely should be fair going into the playoffs. The Dolphins got a taste of what they did to us last year, this year, and everybody else. We put them on notice, man. Everybody else is on notice. This offense is looking phenomenal right now. It don't matter who the damn running back is. Clearly, it can be Justice Hill, Gus Edwards, Keaton Mitchell, J.K. Dobbins. It don't matter. They just finding ways to do what they do best, and that's pretty much put up points at will. So it was a good day today, man. The Ravens look fantastic. And like I told you before, Lamar Jackson, he's extremely improved this season, throwing and running the football, man. He looks like the guy that I always hoped he would be, like I said before, in years past.
D. Lamar's looking like the best quarterback, dare I say, in the AFC right now, even with Mahomes.
Oh yeah, man. The offense get an A+ for me, man. What a statement game. What a way to get it done. Like I said, the running back side a little limited. You're down to your second, third string tight ends. The ball was getting sprinkled around. Lamar was patient. The catch from Likely on 4th and 7 was just amazing. I mean, LeJackson, two-time MVP. That's what it is. Two-time MVP. He got it in the bag. There's no question about it, man. He was great. He was he was marvelous today. He's been marvelous in this run, and he has been impressive. Todd Monken, what a great pickup. I mean, I can't say nothing else. The offense is great, man. I mean, Lamar has not made any mistakes over the last couple of weeks throwing the ball. He's been perfect. I mean, what else can you say? Perfect.
Yeah, Lamar has silenced all the critics. I know our good friend Q was yapping off. I guess he came back from the grave. I know he was being called out. He was on a milk carton, D, as they would say. But looking at the rest of the offense, guys, and I want to get your thoughts. As you guys mentioned, Gus Edwards now with how many? He has what, 13 touchdowns this season? He is going crazy. Most rushing touchdowns for a season from the Ravens, 16 for 68. Justice Hill, 3 for 48, filling in for Keaton Mitchell admirably. Lamar with 35. Melvin Gordon with a touchdown with 10 yards. Zay Flowers, 3 for 106. Justice Hill, 5 for 64 and a touchdown. Bateman, 4 for 54. Likely 2 for 42 and 2 touchdowns. Beckham with an amazing catch, 1 for 33. Kolar, 1 for 19. Aguilar, 2 for 14. And Ricard with the touchdown. D, the offense outside of Lamar, the running game, rush for 100 yards yet again. The weapons, you saw the big plays from Flowers, Bateman, Likely, and even Odell. Kolar had a touchdown. And the offensive line doing a great job.
Now I want to talk about the offensive line for a sec. They got maligned. They had even in this run, they've had some bad moments. But ever since the first quarter of last week's game, Christmas night in San Francisco, the offensive line has played magnificent. They have been able to block well. Lamar's jersey's been clean. He has looked great because of that. He's had plenty of time in the pocket to throw the football. He's had time at times, even if he wanted to run. And props to the offensive lineman, man. Props to Stanley Moses getting themselves together and getting it done, man. And they've been able to max protect at times as well. They've been able to do a little bit of everything. So props to the front up front for the Ravens. They've been able to do a lot. They've been able to open holes up at times for the running game as well. So they've been able to get it done. And like I said, the Ravens' weapons, everything has worked perfectly. It worked well. Let's hope it continues on to the playoffs, man. We don't want them to peak fully now, but they have made a statement. They're the best team in the NFL right now. That is clear. Even Stevie Wonder and the late Ray Charles can see that.
Andre, we're going to talk about that a little later when we preview the Steelers and what the Ravens should do, how long starters should play. But Raj, this offense, I told you, Raj, that you were going to love Todd Monken by the end of the season. And I want you to tell him that you love him here on the Flex Zone official Baltimore Ravens postgame show as we end 2023.
All right, man. Let me just say this. I was skeptical. I was skeptical about Todd. I really was. I didn't know what to expect from him. I understand that he won the national championship with Georgia, the last 2 seasons, and that he had, Stetson Bennett looking phenomenal. But this is his best coaching ever, to be honest with you, because to take Lamar Jackson from where he was with Greg Roman, and just to turn him, literally turn him into a passer, is just amazing in itself, man. And I'm glad that he had the chance to do it, and I'm glad that we're getting our money's worth out of him. Hopefully, he doesn't go anywhere. Please, nobody hire him. Please, leave him alone. Let him stay here for a while. I would love to see, you know, that be a thing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, he did it. He's doing his thing right now as the offensive coordinator, and I'm just loving every bit of it, man. But when we put up 56 points on the Dolphins, man, I'm still at shock, to be honest with you. I did not expect 56 points. I expected to win, but damn, they literally whooped their ass. And what the funny thing is, everybody got involved, man. I mean, we seen Kolar get a touchdown pass. Ricard get a touchdown pass today. Melvin Gordon came out the blue and got a touchdown. So it was like, yo, everybody is getting involved. Everybody's getting touches. And it's a beautiful thing to see, man. It really is when everything is clicking. Everything is going your way. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing.
Yeah, the first quarter the Dolphins won 10-7. Ravens win the second quarter 21-3, third quarter 7-0, and fourth quarter 21-6. So basically winning the second half 49-6. My goodness. Let's talk about this defense because they bought their A game. Roquan Smith, fantastic. He had a pick. Geno Stone, another pick. Oweh with a sack. Matabik K. Matabik K. Matabik paid with another sack. We saw our boy Van Noy with a sack. Ravens lead the league in sacks. This defense, man. Good as this offense is, put them 50 plus. This defense shut down the Dolphins and hold them to just 20 points. I think a turning point in this game was that Tyreek Hill touchdown drop and some of those early penalties by the Dolphins.
Byron, to your point, Tyreek Hill was dominating with his speed, him and Akan, the rookie running back for Miami, but without Weddle, without Mozart, that kind of hurt the Dolphins today. They would have still lost this game, no doubt. But would they have lost his amount? They might would have gotten to the 30s, but they still would have got beat today. But with that being said, the defense I thought adjusted. They adjusted to the speed well, and they got pressure on Tua. They let Tua get comfortable and get the short passes, and then eventually him throwing the long passes. So, and the Dolphins' MO is pretty simple. If you hit them in the mouth a couple times, they're going to fold, and that's what happened. That's happened to all the teams that played with any kind of aggression. They got beat by Buffalo. They got beat by the Chiefs this year. They got beat by us. If you play them tough, they can get hit in the mouth, and the Eagles as well. They get beat. And that's what happened today. They're a good team. They're good for this team, but when it comes down to toughness, they're going to have their problems. And Ravens defense once again did well. With a banged up cornerbacks, secondary, and if they can get them healthy, would be all right. And I know we're going to talk about in a moment what they should do next week against the Never Say Die Steelers. Because God darn it, they won't die. They won again just now, and we'll get to that in a moment. But the Ravens defense rolling, they get a B plus for me, and the offense, like I said earlier, get an A plus.
Raj, I mean, they held Tyreek Hill. One of my keys was keep Tyreek Hill under 100 yards. They kept him under 100 yards. Achan is he's like Reggie Bush or something. 14 for 107 carries, and he had, 4 for 30 receiving. And Tua was 22 for 38, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 237 yards. The Ravens got 3 sacks. This defense, man, any offense you line up, they smash them, they stack them, and pin them, like our good friend and buddy, the tribal chief Roman Reigns.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Stack them and pin them. Shout out to Ronald Darby, Arthur Millette, Geno Stone, Marcus Williams, and even Rock Yassin. Although he got beat a lot today. He played okay. Um, and it's great to see guys, who don't even really start, just go out there and just play extremely well, especially when Humphrey Stevens is out and Hamilton is out. It's great to see, man, because last year, boy, oh boy, this would be a totally different game if we had the people that we had last year out there. But they did a great job, man, in the back end of things. Like you said, Roquan Smith had a pick, and that was a one-handed pick. It looked beautiful when he did it. I was in shock, and when he caught, I was like, "That's crazy." But he did his thing as well. The defense played. They did their thing, man. They played well, especially after the first touchdown. They played extremely well after that. They held Miami down when they needed to help hold them down, and they played a great game, pretty much a really great game. Um, but like I said, hopefully we get those guys back for the playoffs. Get them some more rest because we know the defense going into this kind of was banged up just a little bit. A lot of people had minor injuries, whatever, including Roquan Smith. I think he had a shoulder injury, but we got to get these guys some rest because the real game, starts in the playoffs. I understand we got to play the Steelers next week, and I understand we want to try to beat them, but we, like I said before, we got to get some rest for some of these guys, man. They've been rolling, this whole season, like Roquan Smith, who's been playing his ass off. But it's a good thing to see that the defense, even though the secondary was banged up, they still holding teams stuff, under like 17, 18 points. So it's great to see.
Let's get into it. This is a discussion everybody's gonna talk about all week. We may do an extensive video on it a little later this week as more information comes out. But Ravens Steelers. It's always a game that has some sort of storyline. The Steelers trying to backdoor their way into the playoffs. Looks like Mike Tomlin is assured another winning season, winning today, going to 9-7. D, I'm gonna start with you. With everything locked up, how should the Ravens handle this game as they host the Steelers next week? I'm guessing it'll be a 1 o'clock game. I know it's TBD on a lot of these games, D, with Week 18.
Well, the thing is, the Colts and Houston game has a lot important for the Steelers. So, wherever that game lands, the Ravens and Steelers probably land at the same time as that matchup, unless it's a primetime game, which I doubt it will be. But we got to play a half, people. I know we need some people to get some rest. I said earlier, anybody that is majorly hurt that should not play this Sunday. But if you're healthy enough, we need you out there for a half because we lost to the Steelers once this year. I don't care what the deal is. You don't want to get swept by your rival. You don't want your rival to backdoor their way in the postseason and come back and maybe bite you later on in it. So, with that being said, the Steelers must be eliminated. They must be beat. They're public enemy number one here in Baltimore. Fact of the matter is, they find a way every year to be relevant, either on top of the division or in the wild card. Them bastards find a way. I don't know how they do it. I mean, you look at today's game. I picked them to beat Seattle, and they did it. They went up there, punched Seattle in the mouth, got the job done. Now if we would have beat them the first meeting, I might be a little bit more. Still beat them, but rest as many people you can. But now, anybody like Hamilton don't need to be out there. Don't be out there. But if you're healthy enough, go out there for a half, give it all you got, and we need the Steelers to get beat. They cannot make the postseason, period. Screw them. Screw everything about them. They cannot make the playoffs.
Raj, how you handling this game?
Like I said before, I hate look. I hate the Steelers. All my heart. Okay, I hate this team. I want them to lose every damn game, but I don't want to lose anybody else. So if it comes down to having to rest everybody, I wouldn't mind it. But I do. We've seen what happens when we do that. So to these points, if you can play, get your ass out there for at least a half or a quarter and play. But yeah, man, this game really don't mean anything, to be honest with you. That's a good thing because I did not want to. I did not want this game to mean anything. Okay, look. Even though I hate the Steelers, I respect the hell out of them because they find ways. They find ways to defeat the Ravens. I don't know how the hell they do this. They find ways to beat us. So even though we play them next week, this game don't mean shit because we're still going through the divisional round. We still got the number one seed under lock and key, and that's the beautifulest thing ever. So like Dee said, play your starters if you have to. But if you see anything like somebody grimacing, you get their asses out of there quick, fast, and hurry. Okay, get them out of there. Get them out of there quickly.
Well, we'll see. Ravens, Steelers, I'm guessing it'll be a 1 o'clock game on Sunday, but there are 2 games on Saturday as well. So we'll see what happens. As Dee said, a lot of interesting playoff matchups we'll get into in a second. Let's go to the scores. Started on Thursday. Rod, your boy Flacco has clinched a playoff spot for the Browns. They beat the Jets 37-20, and the Jets are picking in the top 10 yet again as Q tries to pick his head out of the rabbit hole.
Oh man, Joe Flacco, man. I've gotten so much, flack literally about this man over the past couple years that he can't do this, that, the third, that it was always the Ravens defense that bailed him out, yada, yada, yada. Joe Flacco is a good quarterback, man. When he has time and he has weapons to throw to, he has that big ass arm of his, he could beat literally anybody. And right now with the Browns, he is rolling. He is definitely rolling.
What I tell you, Raj, what's going to happen? You know who we're going to have to play.
I already know, man. I told you I still don't want to see them, but I told you I respect Joe Flacco. Okay, I love the guy. All right, I do. He is not ass cheeks. All right, God damn it, he is not ass cheeks. You leave Joe Flacco alone, Brian. You leave him alone. He's a damn Super Bowl champion. You show some damn respect. And like I
Super
said
Bowl
before,
MVP.
man, it's Super Bowl and the Super Bowl MVP. Hopefully Lamar gets the Super Bowl MVP. But like I said before, man, you're going to respect Joe Flacco, all right? He's leading the Browns to the playoffs, and he probably will come to the bank. I mean, I can't see who's going to beat him besides us, but he's been playing extremely well, and I show respect with respect is due. The man has always showed up in big moments, and right now he's showing up for the Browns team going into the playoffs.
Big Reg, I gave you credit earlier. I know you called a blowout. Congrats to you, brother. Big Reg, right yet again. D, the Browns aren't the clowns this year. They got it figured out.
I got to give Sabansky and company credit up there. They've had to play with 4 quarterbacks this year. 4 of them now. And you would have thought Joe Flacco would be the one off the couch to really get it done for him. We hurt Watson and Burrow, and we kind of created the monster. It's kind of our fault that Joe Flacco's back. And Raven fans out there that disrespect Joe Flacco, y'all be ashamed of yourselves. He is still, at this moment, still the best quarterback in franchise history now. Lamar is coming up to pass him. If he won the Super Bowl this year, he will pass him. But it's still Joe Flacco. But to my folks mighty quick that, again, want to not play against the Steelers, if the Ravens lose to the Steelers and they make the playoffs and the Steelers win their first-round game, they're coming to M&T Bank Stadium again. And they'll be comfortable because they've beaten the Ravens twice this year, maybe.
And they beat them last year at the bank. They beat them last year at the bank.
That's correct, Byron. So that's why you want to take care of the Steelers Sunday. That's the main reason why. You don't want them to have any confidence against you. But it could be Cleveland we see. Could be the Buffalo-Miami loser. Never know. The AFC side is going to be interesting. The wild card around the AFC is going to be very, very interesting. Very interesting.
D,
Go ahead.
Go ahead, D. I was going to ask you about the Cowboys winning over the Lions 19-20.
Mike, I see what Andre said. Yes, the Super Bowl is the main goal. But you don't want a team that knows you well to stop you from making the Super Bowl. That's why Sunday's game is important. Yes, the Ravens have clinched everything up. Like we said earlier, anybody that's hurt majorly shouldn't play. But the ultimate goal is the Super Bowl, and the Steelers will be in your way if you don't beat them this Sunday coming up. Go ahead, Bob.
Oh no, you good. Yes, Big Reg. He never won MVP, but he won the Super Bowl MVP. I'll take a
They
Super
did.
Bowl MVP every day. How you feel about the Cowboys Lions 20-19? I mean, the
You know, a
Lions are
lot of
kind of
people,
locked into that spot, but Cowboys trying to win the NFC East, man.
yeah, a lot of people talking about the lines, what happened on the conversion and all that, and they had a guy that was ineligible. He was ineligible, regardless of what you say. The guy was ineligible. The referees did the right call there, but the Lions should blame themselves. They had a chance early in the game to kick a field goal, and if they would have scored that touchdown late, they would have been up and won the game. Instead, they went for it on that fourth down, didn't get it. It came back to bite them in the butt. So both teams, I heard someone say last night, and I think they're right. Both teams look like they wasn't ready for prime time. Dallas or Detroit, for that matter. And the NFC is filled with a lot of teams like that. So somebody's going to make it with the 49ers probably in the NFC Championship game. Detroit's definitely a year away from really making that real leap or jump. And Dallas just can't do it with the simple crew they got. But Dallas is dangerous at home. They're a much better home team. And I know we'll talk about the Eagles in a little bit. Dallas beat their all rival in Washington. They will have home field outside of them going to San Francisco.
Raj, Cowboys, Lions. I mean, it'd be interesting to see how these teams finish the year because they may have to play again.
I'm not surprised that the Cowboys won. I was watching a lot of that game while I was watching the pay per view yesterday. They had them on back to back, so I caught a lot of it. To Dee's point, I don't know why you don't go for the field goal right there. They could kick the field goal. I mean, you're up, and it doesn't come back to bite you in the behind. But the Lions was being the Lions, trying to be too aggressive when they didn't need to be. Especially going for two in that position as well. Just going to overtime. Just take the game into overtime. I don't understand what you're trying to do, but they shot themselves in the foot, and they didn't really do anything that was going to help their cause. So yeah, the Cowboys look, lethargic outside of CeeDee Lamb, who had a phenomenal day. But like I said before, I'm not surprised at the outcome. It's just the way that the game went, and it went in the Cowboys' favor because the Lions decided to be too cute and goofy at the same time.
Let's get to today's action. The Bills beat the Patriots 27-21, and with Miami's loss, the Ravens 56-19. This could be primetime Sunday night. The
I think,
Bills are the hottest team in the league outside the Ravens, and they could win an AFC East still.
yeah, they could, man, and that's an interesting thing. I think we'll probably know all the schedule by halftime. Hopefully by halftime of tonight's Sunday night game in Minnesota. But the Bills and Dolphins going to be a good one. The Bills won that matchup early in the year up there, and right now I like the Bills to beat the Dolphins now, man. Just think when the Dolphins play real teams, they struggle against them, and the Bills definitely a real team. They did the right thing by firing their offensive coordinator. Since then, they've gotten more to them running the ball with a running back as well as with their quarterback, and they've been able to get it done with Josh Allen running and passing the football. And the Patriots, they're just getting the Bills farewell. I guess that's going to be next week with a game nobody will care about between the Patriots and the Jets. I guess that's Bill's swan song in New England. But the Patriots tried hard today, man. You could definitely tell they're trying. They just not a good team, and it wasn't good enough today to beat the Bills.
Yeah, they're trying to stay in the top five of the draft. Raj,
I don't got nothing for this, man. I didn't see that game, so I don't care.
let's go to you, Raj. And I said this to Cavante. I talked to him earlier. We were doing our Goofies of the Year, which will be coming out on the channel soon. The Bears, Falcons, 37-13. Bears beat the Falcons. I might keep Justin Fields after the season. I might trade that number one pick. And you have a top 10 pick because you have your own pick. I might trade that pick, get all you can for the number one pick. If you hire Jim Harbaugh, possibly. You got Justin Fields. Defense is number one against the run. I mean, the Bears, man, could they be Lori Lightfooting their way in the right direction with a new stadium coming soon? I figured you might like that.
Bro, that was a good one. That was a good one. But they might be Mayor Brandon Johnson their way up out of there. But that's a whole nother thing as well. To your point, yeah, I think you should keep Justin Fields, man. To be honest with you, all he needs is the offensive coordinator. I mean, the brother has everything. He has an arm. He can run the football, and I just think he needs somebody that's going to, get the most out of him. Unlike whoever's their offensive coordinator right now. But let me just say this for the Atlanta Falcons. Calais Campbell, what the hell was you thinking going over there? Like, I mean, I get it that you got paid a little bit more money, but bro, you were advocating for Lamar Jackson to come back to Baltimore the entire offseason. Not for you to just go over there and be in this goofy Atlanta Falcons team that's barely trying to make the playoffs. That shit is embarrassing, man. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. You really should be. I know you're looking at yourself in the mirror like, why the hell did I come over here? It's ridiculous, man. But it is what it is. You decided to go over there, and now you're suffering the consequences of going over there. But shout out to the Bears for winning the game. Um, like I said before, they're a couple pieces away from being a really, 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 really good team. They should not give up on Justin Fields at all, and they should build around him more properly and get a better offensive coordinator around him.
D, how you feeling, man?
You know the bad part is when I was looking at this game the other day, and I picked the Bears to win. I didn't expect the Bears to blow Atlanta out. It's just the whole NFC South we're talking about in a bit have either sucked or been very inconsistent throughout the year. And the Bears are still in the playoff race. They actually can get in with some help. They can actually get in, and the help actually, the way it's setting up, might can help them out. Um, it's a shame, man. Shame. Atlanta had a chance early in the year to really get it going. They got Heineke. He ain't that good. They got Ritter. He ain't that good. And like you said, to Rogers' point, man, Mr. Campbell went down there, man. You went to Atlanta, stink out the joint. You ain't doing nothing down there, man. You ain't getting it done. It's a shame. Atlanta's going to be sitting home for the postseason because the one of them and the Saints will probably be either right at the wild card or sitting home because Tampa Bay's beating Carolina next week. They should, you would think. You would think.
Yeah, Calais Campbell, 5.5 sacks this year, but could have been doing that on the Ravens. D, the Colts, 23-20. I mean, the Colts are a sneaky team. They might get that 7 seed. I mean, their team out. But their defense and running game, they can get tough out. And Minshew doesn't play bad.
They're a pesky team. We seen that a couple months ago up here. They snuck in and beat the Ravens up here, man. And I say this about the Colts. They find ways to win, too, man. I got to give it to them. They do it. Minshew has gotten it done. The Raiders, Mr. Pierce should get the head coaching job. The Raiders really played tough when he became the head coach. He should definitely get the head coaching job there with the Raiders. They need to go get a quarterback and kind of get back to what the Raiders usually always did. But the Colts got it done today. You got to give them their due. They get a big game next week against Houston, and that pretty much the winner's going to the playoffs and loser might be eliminated.
Raj, are you feeling the Colts love from the horseshoe?
I'm not. Let me just say this: the Colts is a good team. Okay, so with them playing the way that they're playing right now, kind of doesn't make me upset like I was earlier in the season when we lost to them, because they're continuing to do it throughout the whole season. So shout out to them. I think they will make the playoffs, and they're just doing their thing right now. But That's another team I would hate to see though. We already know what they're about. They're a very, very tough defensive minded team. And like you said, they make very few mistakes on offense. So yeah, man, I don't want to see them. That's another team I don't want.
Jaguars, Panthers, 26-0. I mean, anything to say?
Yeah, I mean, I saw the score. I understand Trevor Lawrence didn't play, and they needed this win right here. But it's going to come down to the last week of the season. I think the Texans and Jaguars I think, got the same record or whatever. So we'll see what happens next week. But I'm not surprised if they win. They should win, literally.
The Jaguars are going to limp into the playoffs. Look like Tony Khan out there.
Yeah, oh boy. Jacksonville got a lot of injuries, but they had the perfect opponent in Carolina. And the Panthers owner, he could have had Lamar, but he wanted to trade them 2 first-round picks and DJ Moore to get Bryce Young, and now he's throwing drinks at fans at the game in Jacksonville. It's your fault, man. Carolina stinks. Worst team in football. They won't even benefit from it. The worst team in football, you won't even benefit from it. And the Jaguars came in with a ragtag bunch and beat them. Hand it to them. Shut them out. I mean, Jacksonville's going to limp in the playoffs. They get Tennessee next week. That should be a win. The Titans is limping in. Levis might not even play. Might be another edition of Benny Tannehill out there. And it is what it is, man. But Jaguars this year just got to regroup. Just like Tony Khan and his other businesses. Got to regroup and better luck next year.
D, while I got you on the screen, speaking of the Titans, they lose to the Texans 26-3. C.J. Stroud's back.
He's back. He looked good. Once Levis left that game for the Titans, it was a wrap. They have no confidence in Benny Hill. And it was toast. They was toast, man. And Houston the Colts next week. That's an intriguing game. Who wants it more? Who wants to make the playoffs more? We're going to find out when those two teams go at it. And Tennessee, I think they'll have a top 10 pick. And they can just, you keep the running back, you keep Levis, maybe go out and get another backup and see what you can do next year.
Raj, how you feeling with the Texans, man? DeMeco Ryans, 9 wins in the first year.
Hey, DeMeco Ryans is a really good coach. I think John Harbaugh said it week 1 when we played them that he's going to be a really, really good coach. And he's showing it right now with C.J. Stroud. And it's going to be a knockdown, drag-out fight next week. That should be your Sunday night game, by the way, next week, because they're fighting for a playoff spot. So, shout out to the Texans. They're a really, really good team. But we shall see next week between them and the Colts. Definitely want to see who wins that game.
Real quick, Raj, Rams beat the Giants. Rams going to be a tough out in the wild card, man. 26-25. Don't look now, but the Rams are very well coached, as I always say, with McVay. And they got a quarterback. If he's hot, like we saw with Flacco in the past, and Stafford's done it before when they won the Super Bowl, if he gets hot, look out.
Plus, they got championship experience over there. When you got Aaron Donald, Matthew Stafford, and the coach. I mean, and Cooper Kupp. I mean, that right there is just screaming. Playoff experience, playoff wins, and some more things. And then McCoy is playing extremely well as a rookie. So they're a very scary team in the NFC. And if I'm the Lions, I don't want to see them. I don't want to see them if I'm the Lions. So yeah, man, it's going to be a tough out. Whoever has to play the Rams, extremely tough out.
D, the Rams, they said F those picks, but they got a lot of good fifth rounders, Williams and Puka and Tua.
Hey, man, the Rams drafted well, as shown. They was able to survive the Giants twice. The Giants tried to go for 2. They couldn't get it. And then the Giants missed the field goal late. But you got to give it to them, man. The Rams found a way. Sean McVay has found a way. Their only losses to the Ravens here in the last month. And they've been able to really do things well. They're a very physical team. They find a way to get it done. They play the 49ers coming up. The Niners, as we know, don't have nothing to play for, but both teams are in. So you can understand why the Niners would rest their people in that matchup, because both teams are in the playoffs. You got one team trying to fight to get in. But with that being said, the Rams going to be a tough out. And if the playoffs did start today, it would be the Rams in Detroit. 2 quarterbacks going against each other from that trade. And I like the Rams in that game. Like Roger said, they got championship pedigree. They got the experience. And the Rams know what to do. The Lions, as a franchise, has been very underachieving in their history. They got to find out how to do it. And that'll be a fun playoff matchup if it happens.
D, real quick, Cardinals, Eagles. We talked about the Eagles. You mentioned them a little earlier. Couldn't quite close the deal. I think the Cardinals have their quarterback in Kyler Murray. They want to roll with him moving forward.
Yeah, we was talking about Murray maybe getting traded. I think that would not be a good move if you're Arizona now. You keep him, you keep Connor. Go out and get some receivers. You might even draft one, Marvin Harrison Jr. perhaps, and get it done. Go out and get it done. And Philadelphia right now, they're struggling. They're struggling on defense. Their secondary is not good at all. They're not getting any pass rush pressure they're really going to get beat. Their offense has struggled somewhat. They could not run the ball today. Swift was ineffective against the Cardinals. And Eagles are in some trouble right now because they went from the 2 seed to the 5 seed. That's the difference between hosting maybe a Seattle or NFC North game. Now you got to go to the South winner. Granted, the South has been inconsistent, but who wants to go on the road where you, for majority of the year, had that top 1 or 2 spot right there, and now you've lost it. Now you need the Washington Commanders of all teams to help you out coming up Sunday.
Raj,
Man, I'm just disappointed with the Eagles, to be honest with you. I mean, they started off 8-1. They had an extremely, legit shot of being the number 1 seed in the NFC again, and they just literally this entire season they've been playing with fire. Literally been playing with fire, and right now, ever since we talked to Corey, on our show a couple weeks back, they have not looked good at all. And I mean, really not look good. I mean, they were getting by, like I said before, they were barely winning games. But right now, it's just everything is just going wrong for them, and it just goes to show you, man, you cannot peak too early in football. You cannot peak too early. I mean, look what Kansas City is doing. They peaked too early too. I think they was 8-1 as well. So it just really goes to show you that Super Bowl hangover is real, and peaking too early is real as well. And when it comes down to finishing games and actually playing extremely well on the field, you have to do better. And right now the Eagles is not doing great. They're barely beating anybody, and on top of that, they're falling at the wrong time in December. And you do not want to fall around this time because playoffs is right around the corner, and they're just straight up just losing.
all right, thank you, Steve. That makes a whole lot of sense. Raj, I got you on the screen, brother. Saints, Buccaneers. What the hell is going on in the NFC South? Saints win
That's another,
23-19.
that's
13,
another one, man.
23-13.
I don't understand it. I was rooting for Baker Mayfield. I thought Baker Mayfield was going to come through today, and I thought he was going to, have his, stand in moment to get the Buccaneers in the playoffs. But he had another letdown today. And the Saints, I don't even know what to really make of that team. I mean, they should be better than what their record is, but they're not. And I don't get it. But I mean, hey, man, it is what it is. Like I said before, Buccaneers still got a chance to make the playoffs next week. We'll see what happens. But the Saints, they're another team that's just head scratching. He should be better than what their record says.
So indeed, the NFC South makes some sense out.
It ain't much to make sense out of that division. Saints, you never know what's going to happen with them every week. Some weeks they play well, some weeks they don't. They had 10 days prepared for this game. After losing to the Rams. Buccaneers looking good. They've been beating people. Baker Mayfield been, doing his thing, whatever. And they was even talking about him staying in Tampa Bay. This might be his new home. Well, I mean, you have a chance to clinch the division. You got to get it done, man, at home. Now you got to play in a situation where you win, you should beat Carolina. But we've seen strange things happen there. And then one of the Saints and Falcons next week could win the division. I mean, it's a mess, man. It's a mess in that NFC South. And the Buccaneers got the weapons. You got Evans. You got Godwin. You got guys, man. I mean, it's a game you should win. You shouldn't be getting shut out for most of the game, and then you got to score late to make it respectable and try to come back. That's too late. So inconsistency is the thing in the NFC South. And right now, somebody's got to make the playoffs, but in the future, I think that rule should change. You can still make it, but you shouldn't have to host. You shouldn't host a game. Also, you win your division. You should not host a game.
D, let's talk about the Cockroaches, the Steelers team. You picked to win 30-23, beat the Seahawks.
Yeah, man. Seattle has really shown they're another team. When they play a good team or a great team, they don't do well. The only team they really beat this year was Detroit. I mean, anybody else they've struggled against. The 49ers mollywopped them. The Ravens, when they played them, mollywopped them. The Rams swept them twice this year. And they lose to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh outmanned them. They ran through. Rudolph has been a huge difference. Trubisky stinks anyway. I mean, anybody that sees him knows that. Except the Steelers, I guess. They went with him for so long. But Rudolph has been able to get it done, and they're gaining confidence, and that's what you don't want to make the postseason. A Pittsburgh team that's starting to gain confidence. And like Byron, you said, the cockroaches, they keep rising up. And the Ravens next week, we got to stomp them out. We got to put an end to this so they do not make a run. They do not gain any confidence. Because you gain confidence, you start believing. And I think the Steelers are starting to believe once again.
We need to get the belt like this. Raj, how you feel about the Steelers?
I mean that this is what I expected from them. They find ways to win games. They found a quarterback that doesn't turn the ball over and he can move the ball down the field. Mason Rudolph. We've seen him before. We know what he's about. He's a very tough football player. To be honest with you, I don't understand why they got much of Trubisky anyway either. They should have got rid of his ass last season. But that's neither here nor there. Mason Rudolph is definitely a tough guy. It's going to be a tough out. It doesn't surprise me that they beat Seattle. Seattle, to me, is a finesse team, and we already know that the Steelers like to hit hard, just like the Ravens do. So they out-physical them today. It just is what it is, man. Like Dee said, they are gaining confidence, though, because they smashed Cincinnati the week prior, and then they just beat Seattle this week. So we don't want them to get too confident or too cocky. We got to put an end to that. Hopefully we do next week. But Steelers are still the Steelers. They still find ways to win. And Mike Tomlin, for whatever reason, will never have a losing season.
You spoke with the Bengals. I was bringing them up real quick. 25-17, they lose to the Chiefs. Chiefs clinch the AFC West. The Tribal Chiefs will host a playoff game, but they will have to go on the road if they win that. Raj, are you feeling the Chiefs? And are the Bengals done?
Yes, the Bengals are done. I think you can stick a fork in them. They had a good run. Joe Burrow not being there kind of hurt them at the end. Even though the backup quarterback has been playing pretty well, they still needed him to go out there and do his thing. But yeah, they're done. As far as the Chiefs are concerned, they still having issues at wide receiver. They struggled again today a little bit against the Bengals. Rice bailed them out a couple times. Pacheco played okay, but it's just a lot of stagnation, at times for the Chiefs offense. I think at the half they only had the ball they only had possession for like 8 minutes or something like that. That's unacceptable. So although they won their division, they'll have a home playoff game. If they get out, I think they're done. Whoever they play on the road. But we shall see, man. This is going to be the biggest test for Patrick Mahomes since he's been in the league, since he's always had home field advantage, and every AFC Championship game for the last 5 years. Let's see what he's made out of when it comes to going on the road and winning a playoff game. Let's see if he can do that. That's if he gets out the wild card round first.
D, I see you smiling, brother. The Tribal Chief is weakened. We can take him out and finish the story.
That's right, man. It's time for him to go on the road. They was the 2 seed in 2019 when the Ravens got beat, so they wasn't able to travel once again. But this year they're the 3. They're going to either go to Miami or / Buffalo, which ain't easy this time of year, or Baltimore. So that's going to be huge there. The Bengals are eliminated from playoff competition now. Missing Joe Burrow. They missed Chase last week. He came back this week. They tried, man, but this wasn't enough. They're going to be a last-place team this year, but very competitive. The Bengals healthy. They're going to be back. They're going to be fine. They'll be all right. So in their case, they'll be okay. Chiefs, though, they're right for the picking, and we can't wait because this year their behinds are ours.
D, the Commandos will pick in the top 3. Looks like they're going to be the number 2 overall pick right now. 49ers clinch number 1 seed, 27-10 win over the Commandos.
Oh, boy. They got what they wanted, baby. Mr. Williams might be coming on home to the DMV, baby. They got what they wanted. This is what makes me mad with the Washington Commandos. When they play good teams, they show up. Every this year, they play somebody good, they show up. Outside of Dallas, they didn't show up on Thanksgiving Day. But it's like today, they kept it close with the 49ers, and the 49ers wound them in the second half, but they kept it close. But when they play teams like the Bears, the Giants, teams of that nature, they get blown out or they lose real bad. And it's frustrating to see that. But Magic, Josh Harris, they're going to get it straight with the Commandos. But that's what, as a Washington fan, frustrates you the most. When they play good teams, for the most part, they show up. They try to hang in there. They try to do a little something. But when they play bad teams, they don't show up. They lay down, go over and get beat up, get destroyed, get ramrodded. So that's the thing that's going to happen. Ron Rivera's going to be fired next Monday, and they can get a new coach, move on, get it done. Quickly with the 49ers, they bounced back from the loss they had to the Ravens. They got a couple of issues injury-wise with McCaffrey getting hurt today, but they'll be all right. They'll rest next week against the Rams, and they'll wait to see who their opponent will be in the NFC divisional round.
Play right.
I mean, they said a lot right there with the Commanders. I mean, he's right about them. Hopefully they're smart enough to get Caleb Williams as their quarterback. But like you said, there's a new sheriff in town, and his name is not Reggie Hammond. So they should be getting Caleb Williams, in the offseason. But as far as the 49ers are concerned, yeah, they had a hiccup last week when they played the Ravens. But I mean, who hasn't had a hiccup when they played the Ravens this season, baby? But other than that, they went back on track since they played the Washington Commanders. And Brock Purdy looks like an MVP candidate yet again. And they had a bounce back game and they won it. So it is what it is. They got the number 1 seed in the NFC, and they're going to be rolling right into the playoffs. There you go.
Broncos Chargers, not much to say. 16-9. Jarrett Stidham gets the win for the Broncos, Raj.
Who gives a damn? I don't care. I don't like the way the Broncos did Russell Wilson. They should have allowed that brother to finish the season. They did not have to embarrass him last week or this week going into this game, having that man be a backup. Screw the front office and screw their head coach because they're both goofy as hell, and they're going to get exactly what's coming to them. Absolutely nothing, and not a playoff appearance. So the hell with both of them.
I'm not going to have as much sympathy on Russell Wilson as most have, but the Broncos could have handled this situation better. If you ask the man to get rid of his Simpson, he did it. Let him play out the rest of the year. So if you might can trade him, but he hasn't played well. He hasn't been great. He hasn't helped his cause. But with that being said, the Broncos are eliminated because of the Chiefs. They can kind of do what they want to do, get rid of Russell's big deal. Sean Payton can go out, maybe get his boy Crab Legs from New Orleans and bring him on in, or maybe draft one. I don't know.
They don't have any draft picks, D. They traded it for Russ.
That's right. They traded all for Russ. So, yeah, don't got nothing. So that's even more reason why you maybe should have played Russ a little more. You might get some picks. But that being said, the Chargers, they're looking for a new head coach next season. Herbert will be back. If I'm Bill Belichick, that's where I'm going, man. They got all the pieces there. They got talent there. They got the defense there. I would go make the Chargers right behind the Chiefs, 1-2. But the game was a borderline WC, but it is what it is.
D, real quick, we got Packers Vikings tonight. Losers pretty much done. I'll probably be done by halftime, and the ball will have been dropped on me because I won't care. So Dick Clark, Ryan Seacrest, and all you goofy MFers, you have fun tonight.
I'm just sticking to this game until they show what's going to happen with the NFL schedule for next weekend. Hopefully they don't do it at the end of the night. They've done that over the years. They try to make you actually draw it out to the end. Just do it at halftime. Get it out the way. But with that being said, I don't know what to expect out of this game because Jordan Love sometimes plays great, sometimes plays okay, sometimes plays bad. I don't know. Minnesota, I don't know who's the quarterback tonight. Anybody know?
I think it might be Roger.
It could be. I don't know. It might be. Might be making a trip to Minnesota. I don't know. I picked the Vikings just because they have more of the skill weapons. Justin Jefferson's back. He can make something out of nothing. Addison's there, the other receiver. But with that being said, Minnesota, I guess, or until they show what's going to happen with the NFL schedule next week.
That shows you how exciting the game is. D. We're doing the timeless Tony Storm facial expressions.
The dumbest thing ever, bro. The dumbest thing
Did you see it? Did you see it at the press conference, man?
Something seriously. You know what, man? She plays that character very well, but this ain't the show for it. This ain't the show for it.
It is,
But
it might be the best character in all the wrestling, just off of just
it,
pure,
it might
just
pure
weirdness and
comedy.
crazy. Yeah.
She's pure comedy for sure of her Marilyn Monroe gimmick. But uh, like you said, Mr. Love has been up and down. I really need him tonight to show up because I got him in fantasy. I'm in the championships, baby. Mr. Love, Big Ron's needs you, baby. So come show me some love on my fantasy team. But all kidding aside, man. I think the Packers get it done. I think they have something to prove. I think Jordan Love has something to prove too that he learned under the great Aaron Duck Dodgers for those 3 years that he was the backup, and I think he shows out tonight against those Minnesota Vikings. So we shall see though. Like Dee said, he wants to see what the schedule looks like next week, and I'm pretty sure we'll see it probably before the game is over with. And like you said, Byron, you might be going to bed early. For one time in a very, very long time, damn it, I might have to join you, man, because the day was an extremely long day. That damn Ravens game took a lot out of me, even though we whooped their ass at the end. Your boy might not be going nowhere for New Year's Eve. Man. He might be chilling out in the house.
Hey, that's where I will be, and yeah, all the goofiness can happen. I will not be a part of it. Um, let's wrap up here. Any D before we get out of here, man. We got a 2023. You can talk about how 2023 was. What do you got coming up in 2024, and how can the people keep up with you on Die Sporting Net? What you got coming up on there as well? I know high school basketball is heating up.
Yeah, man, high school basketball really heating up. We want to thank everybody on the Dynasty Network again for all your support. We're looking to get to 3,000 subscribers for the end of the high school basketball season. It's been a great 2023. We're looking to expand and have a great 2024, and we're going to be still covering the best sports action in the DMV area between your high school basketball, your lacrosse, and football in the fall season. So that's how we're looking, and we hoping things roll and hoping to join you during the postseason here for the Baltimore Ravens postgame show.
Yeah, we will have at least one extra week in the divisional round for the Ravens and whomever that team might be. Raj, 2023, man. This is the last stream of 2023. You were here last night. What do the people need to do if they're watching us now? And we'll be here tomorrow, actually, too, to start 2024 off on the right foot.
Yes, we'll be here tomorrow. This year has been a really, really good year for me and a lot of the crew. So just hit that like, hit that subscribe button if you have not hit it. It helps the algorithm. It helps to get our show out there for everybody to see. And I'm just very happy about the Ravens this entire season, man. It started off goofy. Let's not be funny. It started off pretty goofy when they lost to the Bengals in the playoffs last season, and the whole Lamar Jackson thing over the summer months and everything like that. But it ended extremely well, and I'm very, 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 very proud of this team. And not to mention, I'm proud of the Baltimore Orioles as well because they showed up this year also. So very good 2023. I hope to see y'all in 2024. Hit that like, hit that subscribe button. We'll be on tomorrow, covering sports. So just, stay tuned for that. Stay tuned for Goofies of the Year. I'll be putting that out tonight as well. And just continue to keep supporting, man. Keep supporting the show and the content.
Yes, we will be having our Goofies of the Year drop tonight before the year switches to 2024, recapping the top craziest sports storylines of the year, the top three. And tomorrow, myself, Rod, I know Dre, probably Devontae too, will be live. We'll be recapping the college football playoff games as we have Michigan taking on Alabama, and then Texas and Washington do battle. And we have a big Monday night Raw. Don't know the last time I said that. Day one, which will be kind of like a pay per view. We'll be recapping that as well. We are the ones here on the Flex On Podcast, only place giving sports how you want it.
When you need it.
Make sure you guys check out Die Sporting that give you all the high school sport throughout the area. He is doing his thing in 2024. He will continue doing it as well. Everybody in the chat, Swerve Show, we appreciate it. Yes, D, we know you want Michigan to go. Swerve Show, appreciate you. Big Red, Brian, Justin, Eric, Andre, Raven C, who we hopefully do on the show soon. Big Red, well, Snowman, Miss Queen. Happy New Year to everybody. Have a great 2024. We'll be here with you tomorrow to start off 2024. Check out our AEW World's End live stream as well. Hit the like button, hit the bell, hit the subscribe button on your way out. Ravens won 56-19, clinched the number one seed in the AFC playoffs, second time in 4 years. LeBron James is even endorsing Lamar Jackson as he looks like he's on his way to his second MVP in 4 years as well. We'll be here next week after the Ravens and Steelers whenever that is announced. Ravens preview will be coming out, and we'll do a video probably or clip this about what the Ravens should do against the Steelers as well. If you're going out tonight for New Year's Eve, be safe. But if not, stay in, stay cozy, watch the Flex Zone, and watch the ball drop, and watch some football. For D, for Raj, we'll be back next week for Ravens Postgame, and see you tomorrow. Hit that bell. College football playoff recap, national championship preview, and Raw Day 1 recap and review. We gone, y'all. Happy New Year. Have a great night. Stay tuned for Goofies of the Year later on tonight and tomorrow live for football and wrestling on the Flex Zone. Peace.
Peace.